The clock and the compass? A true epic overcoming story. The clock over the diner door clicked to 4:59 a.m. when Jonah slid into a booth with a coffee that tasted like nerves. A week earlier, a doctor had used words that rang louder than the silverware: hypertension, prediabetic, fatty liver. 12 years on graveyard shifts had turned his body into a storage unit for missed sleep and meals eaten from boxes. On a napkin, he wrote one sentence and pushed it across the table to himself like a contract: "I am training to become a man who keeps hard promises." Beneath it, smaller and meaner: "No drama, only evidence." The sunrise didn't care if he kept it. The stairwell at the paper mill didn't care, but the clock did. And so did the compass. He'd just drawn the one, pointing toward a life where stairs were background noise, not border guards. He folded the napkin, tucked it into his wallet, and walked into the chill, the sky not yet convinced it should get light. Day one refused the montage. Shoes by the back door, phone on airplane mode, 5 minutes of incline walking until breath matched steps. Jonah built a circuit that respected creaky knees and a shoulder that hated surprises. Bauxite goblet squats to earn depth incline push-ups on the kitchen counter to spare joints one arm. Backpack rows to wake the lot. Suitcase carries down the hallway for posture and anatilt and a 35 to 45 second. Forearm plank with a long exhale. He filmed one set, winced at flared ribs, and wrote 2 cues on a sticky note: exhale to stack and knees track toes. 2 clean reps left in the tank on every move always. He logged baselines without judgment. Waist at the navel, max clean push-ups, an easy mile walk time. Resting heart rate after 3 minutes seated. He closed the notebook with one line that would become a habit stronger than grit: showed up, not perfect, proud. The point wasn't fireworks. It was friction light beginnings he could repeat tomorrow at 4:59 a.m. Structure made the vow real. Jonah opened his calendar and blocked 3 45-minute training windows like rent. Monday dawn, Wednesday lunch between shifts, Saturday morning. He texted his sister, "Attendance buddy, if I goes to session, call me." The program stayed boring in the way bridges are boring yet hold cities together. 3 full-body sessions that hit the 6 pillars. Every week, squat or lunge, hinge, push, pull, carry, and core. Warm-up. 5 minutes of brisk walking, 15 to 20 band pull-aparts, 2 easy ramp sets for the first lift. Progression ladder. Week 1, 3-8, week 2, 3-9, week 3, 3-10 technique became his second language. 5 cues fixed most of what went wrong and made heavy things feel lighter. Squats and lunges. Root a tripod, foot big toe, little toe, heel keep ribs, stacked over pelvis. Let knees track over toes, and drive the floor away. Hinges and deadlifts. Crack a walnut in your armpits to lock lats, push hips back like closing a car door, keep the load close. Hold a long neutral spine, and finish with hips through, not a lower back yank. Pressing, screw hands into the floor or bar, elbows approximately 45 on push-ups and bench, biceps by ears overhead, brace before you press. Pulling, chest proud, shoulders down and back, elbows toward hip pockets with a brief pause and squeeze. Carries in core, zip the ribs, walk tall, no swaying. Jonah filmed 1 set per main lift each week and fixed one thing at a time. If the last rep got messy, the set ended. Strength stopped being a number he bragged about and became a shape he could repeat when nobody clapped. Cardio shifted jobs from punishment to engine. Jonah used the 2+1 rule: 2 Zone 2 sessions and 1 short interval day. Zone 2 was conversational, incline walks past the river, easy cycling on a creaky gym bike 25 to 40 minutes where full sentences stayed easy and heart rate lived around 60 to 70% of max. Intervals were joint-friendly and simple. 8 rounds of 20 seconds smooth, hard on a bike with 100 seconds easy, bracketed by 5-minute warm-up and cool-down. The quiet hero was neat in exercise activity that he collected like loose change: walking calls, parking far, stairs when reasonable, 10-minute strolls after meals to blunt glucose spikes. Steps slid from 6 to 8 to 10,000 most days without turning into a second job. When fat loss stalled, he added 15 minutes of Zone 2 or trimmed weekend drift before he tried more intensity. Engines are built in hours. The algorithm never notices. Food decided whether the mirror kept up with the work. Ain't. Jonah set starting calories by goal body weight in pounds times 12. for fat loss and adjusted every 14 days by trend, not by a single loud weigh-in. Protein became law at 0.8 to 1.0 grams per pound of goal body weight across 3 to 4 meals. The plate method made choices idiot-proof. Half produce, a palm of lean protein, a cupped hand of fiber-rich carbs, a thumb of healthy fats. He built Autopilot Meals for shift life. Greek yogurt plus whey plus berries, eggs plus oats plus fruit, cottage cheese plus pineapple plus toast, pre-cooked chicken or tofu plus microwave rice plus bagged salad plus olive oil and lemon, salmon plus potatoes plus broccoli, turkey chili with beans and rice, one-pan stir-fry from frozen veg. Hydration lived at 2 to 3 liters daily, with a pinch of salt after sweaty sessions. Eating out stopped being sabotage. Led with protein, swap fries for potatoes or greens, sauces on the side, water before the entree. Cravings got a bridge, snack yogurt, berries, a few dark chocolate chips, then lights out on time. Supplements stayed optional and basic. Whey if helpful. Creatine monohydrate, 3 to 5 g daily, caffeine if tolerated. The magic was not powders. It was plates he'd actually repeat on tired Tuesdays. Recovery turned into the other half of training. He guarded sleep like paychecks, 7 to 9 hours when possible. Consistent sleep and wake times even on weekends. The bedroom became a cave. Cool, dark, phone charging in the kitchen. A landing strip calmed his nervous system. Dim lights, warm shower, 10 pages of paperback, 2 minutes of slow exhale breathing. A 5-minute mobility loop unfroze desk hips and scolded erectors. Couch stretch thoracic opener over a rolled towel. Ankle rocks against a wall. 3 slow world's greatest reps. Between crew meetings, he practiced box breathing. Inhale for hold 2, exhale 6, so stress leaked out instead of compounding like interest. Every 6th to 8th week, a planned deload trimmed total sets by approximately 30 to 40%, sharpened technique, and let him leave the gym with caged energy. Pain got a framework, not a panic. At 3/10, reduce load and keep the pattern. At 4 to 5/10, change the variation. 6/10, or sharp, stop, walk, reassess. Longevity beat bravado every time. Setbacks arrive like invoices. A head cold stole a Saturday. A rush order ate 2 evenings. His left knee muttered after a rushed lunge set. Old Jonah would have negotiated with quitting. New Jonah negotiated with scale. He shrank the plan to 10 focused minutes goblet squats to a box, incline push-ups, rows, a 30-second plank until the timer sang. He swapped back squats for goblets to a box when knees hissed, pressed neutral grip dumbbells when shoulders sulked, and slowed eccentrics to own positions. He kept a resistance band at his station and did 10 pull-aparts before long calls. He printed a tiny 4-box grid training, protein steps. Sleep hand checked it nightly with a real pen, because humans are wired to chase streaks. 3 identity lines on the fridge turned actions into defaults. I train on busy days. I choose protein. Never miss twice. Cheesy maybe. Effective. Absolutely! At 60 days, the world got lighter before he did. The elevator became optional. The belt needed a new hole. Push-ups doubled. Plank time passed a minute. And deadlifts felt like a handshake with gravity instead of a dare. He circled 2 dates in red. A Dawn River 2 bridge run out to the first span and backhand. 6 weeks later, a community strength morning with a novice deadlift and a farmer carry medley. Training tilted without turning circus. Zone 2 moved to hillier routes. Rucks with a backpack stuffed with water bottles joined weekends. Carries ended every lift day. Deadlifts stayed at 1 to 2 reps in reserve with ruthless positions, bar close, lats on, hips through, back neutral. He rehearsed event days like meetings, conservative warm-ups, chalk routine, breath on the pick, eyes on the horizon, mantra loaded on the setup. The rep will follow. Confidence, he learned, is conservative first attempts multiplied by 1,000 quiet reps when nobody claps. The bridge morning tasted like steel and citrus. He started slower than he wanted, shoulders soft, breath through the nose. At the midpoint, the place he'd always turned around, his brain whispered. Later, he answered, now lengthened his exhale and kept moving. He didn't sprint the finish. He arrived like a promise kept. 6 weeks later, on plywood and chalk, he opened conservative, hit clean, and earned a tiny PR that felt less like conquering iron and more like setting down an old story. The carry wobbled once, then settled. He walked tall with chalk on his palms and a grin he hadn't worn since before knights took their tax. 90 days from the diner napkin, the lab printout read like a postcard from the future. Blood pressure inside the lines, resting heart rate down, waist -3 inches, fasting glucose trending in. The clock still clicked. The compass still pointed. Only now both agreed with his feet. This is the handoff, because a story is a blueprint if you let it be. Tonight, write your reason on paper. You can touch and tape it where excuses live. Block 3 45-minute windows right now and defend them like rent. Run the split that hits squat, hinge, push, pull, carry, core. Keep 1 to 2 clean reps in reserve on compounds in progress, 1 variable weekly at a rep. The smallest plate, slower eccentrics, or shorter rests. Use the 2+1 cardio rule and collect steps like spare change. Build protein-anchored plates you can repeat on a bad Tuesday. Sleep like progress depends on it because it does. Film 1 set per lift. Fix 1 cue. Repeat weekly. When a day explodes, shrink the plan. When a week wobbles, never miss twice. Tomorrow morning, do this without negotiating with your feelings. Back squat 3-8. Bench 3-8. Row 3 times 10. Farmer carry 440 steps. Plank 340 seconds. Then walk 20 minutes at a talkable pace. When the voice says later, answer now. When a rep gets messy, end the set. When a day collapses, take the win that still exists. Swalk, plank, protein, sleep. Repeat until your clock tells the same time as your compass. Forward.